It's been a year, but it's finally here. Welcome back to Your Turn to Die, Chapter 3, Part B, I think? Part B or Part 2 or something like that. So yeah, this is my first time playing this. So excited it finally came out. So to remind myself where I was in my theory crafting, I had to go back and watch some old videos because it's been so long. Alright, so I have basically two big theories kind of right now, and they work together. One is that everything we're seeing is not reality. I'm not even sure if I really said this too much in the playthrough, but it's opinion I've established since then. Just that, like, for the most part, this game is grounded in realism, but then we see, like, monsters, and then, like, in the last part, we saw flying books attacking us. I don't think... It just doesn't seem right. Like, I don't think it's technology. I don't think it's real monsters. I think it's just not reality. I think we are the people that... So we know that there are robots or AIs in this game, and then we know that there are the humans. Because we've, obviously established that with Reiko and all that. So, I think all the humans are hooked up to, like, some kind of, like, VR machine. And... then there are also possibly remaining AIs in the game, and they're just in the program. So, they don't even need to be hooked up to anything. They don't need to have any physical bodies. Obviously, it's been presented in such a way that there are these robots, these physical bodies in the game, but I just think we're not seeing reality. And all the hints are just all the weird things that are happening, like the hallucinations, the flying monsters and stuff like that. Also, I rewatched the very first chapter of the game, and it's like there are just so many little things, like we see like an eye at one point, like looking at us, just like in the middle of the screen, and it could be style, but I think it's just really not reality. So the other big theory is all about like who's behind it. Like I don't know really. There's so much I'm still so confused on with that, but we know there's been previous games. Keiji's told us about it. About some game that took place supposedly decades ago between like crime lords, but then we also found like a book that described a previous game, and there were hints that it was written by Keiji, and it sounded like it had the exact same characters that we have. They talked about how there was a charismatic 17-year-old girl who ran the Russian roulette game, and was like leading the group, and it sounded like exactly like our game, and they described the first trial, and like the deaths were the same. They said like we lost our best friend in it. Then the second game was different, and like in terms of who died, for the most part, I mean they mentioned. So the two people that they said died in game 2 in that one were the man whose ideals were closest to ours, or whose mindset was closest to ours, and then also a younger boy. So I'm guessing the younger boy was Jin, and then there were also hints. I believe that the guy whose ideals were actually closest to us was So, or Shin. And that was before he's been told, like, you have zero chance to win unless you do something weird. So just him playing it straight, he's kind of more like Sarah, and he agrees with Sarah a lot. So I think those are the two people that died originally, and then in the third game they said Sarah died. And... then the writer talked about how they've been haunted by hallucinations and all that since then, and they've never been able to get over the death of this girl. And it just sounds like Keiji, because we also know Keiji's been haunted by hallucinations. So I think he's partly behind the game, and we are probably an AI of this girl, and that's partly why, like, the first chapter is just like about us getting kidnapped, and like I said, there's this weird little... like the very beginning of the first chapter, there's these weird little hints that it's not reality. Like it starts off with her waking up and saying, "Oh, I had a bad dream," and all this type of stuff. So that would just be her memory implanted in her about how she got kidnapped. So, that's basically my main theory. Other than that, there's all the stuff with her father and all that. I have no idea what's going on there. But maybe he's also behind... I don't know. It's confusing. But there's definitely some stuff. I can sense that there's truth to some of that stuff. I just don't know which bits are, right. But yeah. Okay. So this is the last game. I did 2 run-throughs of the last section. This was the one with So alive. I'm going to continue with my original run. This is more like my canon run. Because again, I feel at the end of Chapter 2... Like, I love So. So is my favorite character. But, like, he was begging us to kill him and keep Santa alive, or keep Kana alive. And... like, that was the happier ending, and he gives us Joe and all that, and I just feel like that's kind of the way we're kind of supposed to go. So I'm going to start from this one. Whew. So yeah, at the very end of the last one, like, Keiji got stuck in the coffin. Oh yeah, and he asked us to sign that piece of paper. So also there's a thing. So I think Keiji is, like, kind of... behind this game, and like he wants us to win, but he wants to win it with us, because he doesn't just want us to win, because we had that ending where we could have sided with Now and killed him and everyone else, and he was horrified at that. And also, in that ending, Shin remarked to Keiji, "See, Keiji, this is what happens." You know, so I feel it. So Shin seems like he's behind it too. Like, I don't. It's so weird. But it seems like maybe like this is a whole like some kind of simulation, and like maybe Keiji and Shin and maybe other people are kind of behind it. And then there's like the AIs, and then there's like real humans hooked up to it, or maybe it's all AIs. I don't know. It's so confusing. But like Keiji, I think is doing it to right his demons or something, and the reason other people are doing it, I have no clue. Yeah. Sorry. All right. All those tangents. Let's go. Oh, this is a parallel at the beginning almost. Where you're like controlling the arms that are reaching for Sarah. Interesting. Why are we viewing things from Keiji's perspective? I mean, I guess they always have these little snippets, but... Kitaro? You do have red hair, I don't know. Is that Kitaro? So yeah, here's this hallucinations again. This should be Sarah, I believe. Like the original Sarah. Why is it himself? I mean, it's more because it's the rules of the game than that scene. So if we get a choice here, I'm gonna choose. Like, really, I don't really trust Keishi. I would probably choose not to sign that paper and let him die if that was the choice. But in this play, I think I feel like I'm going towards the true end in this one. So I feel like I should also side with Keiji because I think that's more what they want us to do. And then in the So route, I would choose against him. Oh shit. No. Good. I didn't want to click there. I want to see what everyone's going to say. They couldn't help. They would die. Why is he standing so in the center? Makes him look like the most important person. Like you'd think Midoriya would be there. I didn't really rewatch much of this. Alright, we know what that is. Let's go. Let's put a save in here so we know where we are. Maybe I'll just go start here. God, and then there's the whole thing, which I didn't even review any of this, but then there's the whole past about how we killed him at some point. Which was probably also in a previous game. Was it the same game? Was it... who knows, man. There's so much. Yeah. This is a nightmare, especially in this kind of world. Like, I mean, come on. Who would sign... Like, this is like hell. Like, you have no idea what you're agreeing to. Wait, it doesn't even say sign it to save him. It says sign it and I'll tell you how to save him. That's brutal. So it's like two mysteries. Like, I agree to this, and then I don't even know if I get anything out of it. Oh yeah, I shouldn't be using the mouse advance because you guys can hear the clicking. Sorry about that. I mean, obviously. What? Of course we're agreeing to whatever's written there. That's the whole point. Okay, cool. I figured this would happen. So yeah, like I said, this is more the happy path or the path they want you to be on, and they want us to like Keiji more than I do, personally. I know a lot of people in the fan base love him, but I don't really. But I think that's the right way we're supposed to go.